gosh.
So let's cheer. We haven't been together for a while.
Couple weeks. Hi everyone, we missed you. We were quite busy on the airplane, but we're back and excited to share another week with you.
Yes.
And this is a show about nothing.
And a little bit about everything.
That's what we aim for, right? And I'm Elizabeth, if you've never seen our show before.
And I'm Maricel, Once a Life. I got my shirt on because I might go to work after her. No, I'm not. I haven't washed clothes.
So now you take off Monday and Tuesday, which is really nice, right? And you didn't take those off before.
Yeah, no, it's good. The thing is that I like that I could stay in bed or just do whatever I want to do, and it's just like no schedule, no nothing, and it's amazing because it's always on the run. Always on the run.
I would love to do that. Like, you know, Saturdays and Sundays go by so fast that I find like Monday, like if I took a day off during the week, like the time goes slower and I do more than if I did on Saturday and Sunday, because I think in my mind I'm thinking like, I gotta clean, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that, right? And then then it's Sunday and then I'm stressed out because, oh my God, Monday's coming tomorrow. Oh, do you feel that way? Like I think a lot of people do, like they get this built up anxiety on Sunday because of work on Monday or because they killed Saturday, didn't do anything. And then they find themselves having to do so much stuff on Monday.
Well, with my schedule at Ponce, Saturday and Sunday, it's it's not like I could do anything but be at work. So come Sunday evening when everything's winding down at the restaurant, I'm like, now I could breathe. Monday, I could do laundry. You know, it's like, no, the weekends for you are different than mine.
True,
because
probably.
You need to come back to work to Ponce.
Oh, gosh, no.
You don't want to read
this year, Father's Day, I want to make sure
You have plans?
I have plans. I'll tell my husband, you can go with your daughters, but I have to hide from Maricel, so I don't have to work at the restaurant this year.
It was fun though.
It was. It was a good experience.
It was a day that you were in my shoes.
It was. I've always wondered what it would be like to work in the restaurant business, and I would never do it. I know that's not a place I would go. But I do want to own a coffee shop.
Yeah.
I want to be a barista.
Yes, with some nice pastries.
Yes.
And you know what? You have to have a little book of the month.
Like a book club and stuff like that.
And I have little birthday cards where they could just drink their coffee, eat their pastry, maybe a little sandwich. I imagine that as well.
I could see myself being in a coffee shop. I mean, I told my husband, when I retire, I'm going to go work at Starbucks because they're going to teach me everything I need to know to open up a little coffee shop somewhere, make it be wherever I go and retire. But something laid back. I could just find. And I don't even know that I would make a coffee shop with loud music. It'd have to be a chill out place, right?
Where some Latin jazz. Just jazz in general. I love jazz.
I do too. There's a place where people come together. I don't even want internet.
But you know what? That'll be good if you get internet because you'll sell a lot of coffee. People are working.
I know, but I want people just to come and chill out. Let's just talk. Let's have un café con un pan con mantequilla. And
bring back those
conversations.
Bring conversation back.
Because everybody's always.
You know what? There's the name for your coffee shop.
What?
Bring conversation back.
Bring conversation. That's a long name.
No, but it's catchy. Bring conversation. They're like, what is that? Well, you could get coffee. You could chit chat and
something like that. That's just an idea. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I might want to travel the world at some point. But talk about travels. I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico for my presidential leadership training for NABL.
Ooh,
and it was so much fun and so much learning. It's amazing the things that you still don't know in life. I learned so much about leading a nonprofit and being a leader to serve my board members. And everybody was so warm and welcome. They were let us know how we can help you. Because I stepped in July. And I thought that was pretty awesome. I've never been to Albuquerque. Very interesting state. I think that I didn't get the full benefit of it because it was winter. And it's an art and culture state apparently. And I think a lot of things happen in the summer. But I was staying in O Town, which was really old, O Town old. I felt like I was in a rodeo kind of environment. And so I didn't do the hot air balloon or anything like that. But I did do. What did I do? Sandia Peak Tram, where you paid to get on a tram, and it took you like 10,000 feet above the ground level. Really nice. And there was a restaurant that they built on top, and the weather was, cold and warm. And the day before we wore our coats, and then the day of that we did the thing, I said, oh, let's not wear our coats. It was supposed to be 65 that day, but what we didn't know was it was going to be like 30 all the way up there, because there's a ski resort where people can ski. It was like the most unique, amazing place.
Wow.
It was so much fun. And coming back down, this woman saw my husband kind of like, so she gives him her scarf, like her wraparound, and he was like, oh no, don't worry. And she was like, no, you must put it on. So here was Edwin with a scarf wrapped around his neck. A woman's scarf. Was so funny. I'm like, you never do that. He was like, well, she wasn't having that. She was determined to give him that scarf and that wraparound, and there was like, no, going back on that one. And so it was a great experience. And then I flew back, and then you took off.
I took off on Monday to Washington.
Yes.
And the weather there was raining. And it was cold, but not as cold as Chicago.
No.
So it was like a little break. So we went over there to support our good friend in the Latina style. Oh my God, it was amazing. Let me see. I did put it here so like that I won't look like her picture. She was here on our talk show, and she talked about her dog. She's just a beautiful person.
Well deserved.
Beautiful person.
So she got that award.
Yes, it was a beautiful award. It's like an ice sculpture, when we were coming back, when we were trying to get back home, she did get stopped, and they did check the luggage. So,
well, that's so weird. And so I went, I met you guys.
Yes, that was nice.
I always say when things don't work out, like when things start out on the wrong foot, it's like the whole day is going to be the same thing. So I get up at 3:30 in the morning to make it to the airport for a 6 o'clock flight, because I'm flying in and I'm flying out. I am a champ.
And
3:30 in the morning, I got up, and I was so excited. There were 50 open seats on that flight. We were all like laid out on the ready to go to sleep. Now, somebody has explained this to me, but I don't understand why they didn't check that plane before we got on, because it was broken.
Oh, no.
So my flight was delayed. What was it, an hour and a half? And then I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go. And I'm like, I have to go. And I was struggling with myself. Mm-hmm. And okay, so I flew out. I got there. And it was great to be there.
Yes, it was.
But the return flight was the nightmare.
Oh, no. Not only for you, but tell your story. Because mine is like cancellation, delay, cancellation. So
they didn't know what they were. But the weatherman was saying that the weather was not going to be great in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And I don't always listen to the weather, but I don't also believe them, because sometimes it doesn't even work that way. So, and then everyone just starts flocking to the airport, and I decided to take back a 7:30 flight with you guys. Mm-hmm. But I'm monitoring the flights, because I fly a standby, and I'm noticing that the numbers are getting lower and lower and becoming more negative. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm leaving. I'm going to catch a 4:45 flight. I'll see you later. Didn't make that flight because everybody's up there. I want to change my flight. So it became a negative, and then the delays were popping up on all the screens. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was. And then I'm sitting there because we all got split up, right?
Yes.
And well, they stayed behind. I went to the airport.
Because we had the 7:30, mind you. We had our tickets.
You had the tickets. I didn't have a ticket. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and then I remembered they had a voucher for Southwest. I'm like, wait a minute. I got a voucher that expires on the 18th. I get on the phone, and I call Southwest, and she's like, you got the one seat left. I'm like, oh my God, let's book it. But what was so funny, she starts talking to me, like having this conversation. I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, and I know you're being nice, but I need this ticket. Because
I felt like you're working and talking.
Well, I felt like the more she was talking, the more chances I had of losing that seat. And then she's like, no, man, don't worry. She goes, it's already kind of like yours, I guess, because she was actually checking me in and doing everything, but she hadn't even gotten my name. And I was like, girl, you made me lose that flight. I'm boxing. So I made it home. We had, I think, a slight delay. No, we got delayed to 7:15. And then what happened to you?
So we're waiting for our flight, and then what happened? We're all having, our little snacks.
Burgers, snacks.
Okay, I had a hamburger.
A big fat hamburger.
And everybody's phone started going ding, 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 beeping. Canceled.
Oh, canceled.
Canceled. It was canceled. There was no if buts about it. The flight was canceled.
Wow.
So, oh my God, it was just chaos. But we made the best of it. So Jeanette was the one in charge of trying to get us out of there. We had a later flight, and then the next day flights for Thursday. They were with layovers, and I really despise those because I'm a smoker. So as soon as I knew that the flight was canceled and we had to go on Thursday, I'm like, I'll meet you guys outside. So we got the connecting flight for the next day at 3 o'clock. So we get to the airport on time, fine. 3 o'clock, our phones ring. Ding! Delayed till 4. No. So mind you that if you're delayed to get to New York, that means that the connecting flight has left. So then we would have been stranded in New York.
Yes.
So then we took the app to just take the next day flight on Friday, Valentine's Day. Thank you, Washington. You were very nice to me for Valentine's. And we had the evening flight at 8 o'clock. So, and
but
then
you were delayed, so you ended up staying how many days?
Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesdays and Thursday, yeah.
And all day Friday.
And all day Friday. So this mini vacation ended up being a whole vacation because of the flights, and it was so, and it, and then I land here and I was like, what's wrong? Why are there delays? Because I had to Uber it home because I didn't have my car, and the roads were clear. And then
but that's the thing. How come Midway is not canceling, but O'Hare is?
Yeah.
So I was like, you think about Midway not being, like for me, like O'Hare is the biggest one.
It is big.
But no, everybody didn't arrive to O'Hare. But if you were flying Midway, you had a chance.
I love Midway. I don't know why I don't fly through Midway more often, but I do love Midway.
It's going to have to happen because, they were so mean. And then, I wasn't mean. I already ate my hamburger. All I needed was a cigarette, so I went outside to smoke.
Well, I'm always annoyed with people who get upset when flights are delayed or canceled.
Yes.
That annoys the heck out of me because people don't understand really what's happening in the back end with flights and why they have to be canceled. They don't cancel it because they want to. And I'm here to tell you, my son's a pilot. When those flights get canceled, my son doesn't get paid. So those pilots who are stranded like us, they're not paid. The flight attendants are not paid. So they get paid the moment they hop on that plane and they turn on that engine. So yes, they get put up into hotels because that's part of their benefits, but no one's paid. And so we need to be a little bit more patient, because if the plane goes up and then comes down, then you have the family member saying, well, why did they take off the runway if they wasn't supposed to? The weather was bad. So we need to be a little bit more patient. Yes. We need to start taking books and magazines or finding ways to entertain ourselves, knowing that when you travel in the winter, and depending on the part of the country you live at, you're going to get stranded. Period. That's going to happen. Not me. I don't have a problem. I go eat and I go drink.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I learned as well is that if your flight is canceled, they'll accommodate you with the next flight or the next day flight. They don't accommodate you with hotel stay. Only if it's mechanical, then they'll give you a voucher for a hotel. So, I was like, what? I'm getting a hotel? No. No. Not due to weather.
Wow. So
you're on your own.
Think about what the industry loses in money too.
No, and it is what it is. I'm so passive. I was like, well,
yeah. What are you gonna do?
We don't want to. If it's meant to be to stay here 1 more day, 2 more days, then I'm gonna stay here because
that's what happens.
That's what it is.
That's what you can do when you don't have responsibilities, like no kids.
Yeah, no kids.
And you're single. You can just I'll just stay.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, I could come home on another flight, but
it doesn't make sense.
It's like, no, I got this. Let's stay here.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to the National Harbor in Maryland, so that was very nice. It's like that's for my Valentine's Day. I dated myself. I was my own Valentine. We went out for oysters.
Of all things, oysters.
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs.
Oh my God, it was so amazing that I want to go back. It was Walrus Oyster
We could do a day trip.
Yeah.
You could do it. I did it about 2 years ago with my son. We did it. We left at a 6 o'clock flight. We came back at a 6 o'clock flight, and we went to go to the cherry blossom. But we did so much the entire day. I felt like I was there for 24 hours.
Yeah, the cherry blossom is in April.
Is it April?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I did ask because they had all that everywhere. I'm like, what is this
It's
about? I don't see anything.
It's
But
beautiful.
no, they come out in April. Oh. And I did the Arlington Cemetery. Mm-hmm. That was very impressive. I mean, you just read about it or see it on YouTube, but when you're actually walking through that, it's very impressive.
Absolutely.
And the African American Museum, I started with the slavery because it's huge. So I did a couple of interesting things, and African American Museum it's a must see. Take a film. And Abraham Lincoln. Oh my God, we walked those stairs. I felt like Rambo. Yeah. I did it, and I did a Facebook, and I did not realize how heavy I was breathing. Like, this is amazing.
I didn't even see that one.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of stairs, but he said.
And for a smoker, I was very proud of myself that I didn't pass out.
I go up the train step, the stairs from the train over here, and I tend to run up. I run up the stairs, but by the time I make it up here, I'm like, whoa. Like this morning, I did the same thing. And I'm at Starbucks, like, give me 1 second. Call it. I should have taken a breath. And the girl's probably like, what is wrong with her? Like,
well, imagine me coming up those stairs as a smoker. I was like,
no.
But it was very, very, very nice. I drove around the White House. I was like, oh my God.
That's cool.
You know, never.
Hey, White House,
That's
here I am.
Yes.
Did you see anybody? I'm out here. So I went to Lake Geneva and for a night stay because I wanted to go check out that ice castle in Wisconsin. And it's beautiful. I mean, I never have done it, but that's what I went for. And then it gets canceled because Wisconsin had like warmer weather, like 35, 40 degrees. I don't know if it was melting, but they were like, it's being canceled due to extreme weather, which I don't know what that meant. But I'm like, but wait, it's really nice out here. And it was the very last day, and I was bummed because I gave up my tickets to go see I'm calling him the Cheeto Man. The man, the flaming hot Cheeto Man. Ricardo Montalvo, right? Who invented the Cheetos, but I gave you my tickets.
Yes, and I took full advantage.
And you took full advantage.
I did get out of my bed on my day off, but it was well worth it. It was well worth it. I had Googled him to see, what to expect, but he gave more than what. So it's always good to, find out who's out there so you can learn. You can learn from YouTube and stuff like that, but when you get a chance and you get tickets, and I went and I was like so impressed with him.
He has an amazing story. Do you have any big takeaways from his talk?
Yes.
Tell us what they were.
Well, one thing he said that he will always be ghetto.
So
he was so funny.
Wait a minute. So he thinks he was ghetto?
He was. He grew up in Mexico, picking grapes, and he was in a house with 14. And
that's not ghetto.
No, but he was poor ghetto where he did his little things.
Okay.
Because when he's in the corporate office, he goes, we could take it outside. He was just so funny and he got my attention since I sat down because Cheetos is with Pepsi and Coke. Yeah, so he's drinking a Pepsi. This is not a commercial. I am not endorsing this. I'm telling you, from the beginning, he was just amazing.
I heard he's funny, and I've never seen him spoke, but I learned about his story. And when I saw this invitation, I was like, oh my God, I really want to hear his journey because I hear it's a very impressive journey. And what I do know is that he was a janitor at the PepsiCo company, and that's how he started when he invented the Cheeto. And, he pushed his way through to meet with the head honcho at PepsiCo to introduce his product. And that took determination, right, and resilience to want to share something with the world that you think is a good product, and here he is.
Yes.
His position is he vice president now, or he's really high up there?
He is. He's executive CEO of Hispanic.
The Hispanic market, executive
Yes.
CEO.
And the thing is that he gives a lot of credit to his wife, Judy.
Aww, Judy.
And he's like, there was 3 women, his wife and his mother and his grandmother, because this is one quick story about him, is that he went to school and he was on the green bus, because the Mexicans would get on the green bus and the other little kids would be on the yellow bus.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was always felt like he was different. So he went to school and he opened his lunchbox and he had a burrito. And the other kids had the little sandwiches with a little cupcake. So he came and he goes, Mom, can I get this, so I could fit in and I could make some friends. So the next day his mom made him 2 burritos. He goes, 1 for you, and here, make a friend.
Oh.
So he said that by the end of the week he was selling burritos for 25 cents. He always had that business aspect in him.
Wow.
It was so good. It was so much information.
Oh my gosh.
I really loved it. Thank you so much. And those are things that we need to share, because I just started eating the cheese puffs because my son, I go, man, they ruined my cheese puffs. You know how they melt in your mouth with the cheese there, and you're older, so it gets in my molars because I don't go to the dentist, remember? So when I seen them hot, I was like, no. And then he's like, try them, Mom, try them. And I did, and now every time I go to the store, I tell him, I got a bag of chips.
Those are so addictive. So we don't buy them at home, not because we don't like them, but because we're so addicted to them. But our fingers end up so red because we're like, and I don't like to lick my fingers, but boy, do I lick them when I eat those. And so when I really want it and I don't want to go to the store, my brother lives down the street, so we pay them a visit. We open the pantry because he always has them in there. And my son will always go there for Cheetos because they're just like really, really, really good. And and going back to this, to him, he's somebody who I believe, and I don't know him really well, that really doesn't flaunt his success, but remains very humble. And he's a true testament to leadership.
Yes.
Right? Or to leaders, right?
Yes,
you say that?
Yes, he is. Because, for example, he said that when he came up with what happened was that the CEO from the company said, I want all my employees to act like owners.
Gosh, I want that too.
Act like owners. And then he was, with his janitor posse, and then they told him, that's not for us. And he goes, wait. So he wanted to listen more, and he paid attention, and he took it to heart. And another thing that I love about him is that he got the idea of the chili powder when he was buying an elote and those chips in the little corner.
Oh, yeah.
And this man was there standing with his 2 kids. And I remember, that's how Mom started. With pasteles in the trunk. We had it in a cooler, don't worry. and de arroz con gandules and the pasteles. And look at where we are now.
There you go.
So, these small ideas, go with it. And if nobody believes in you, you have to believe in yourself. Absolutely. And he had Judy.
Well, you have to have somebody. You definitely have to have somebody on your side, right?
Yes. She was always there. And when he had to do the presentation, because he did pay attention to the, of being an owner, when he did the presentation, he bought a $3 tie. And she said, you got this, go get it. It's yours.
Yeah. It's all about believing. And I do believe, like, for myself, who I own a small business, I believe that my employees need to think as owners, too, because you have to think outside of the box.
Yes.
You have to be able to know how to make decisions as leaders, right? And when you start having to solve everybody's problems, then it's just a job. And, I was actually talking about that with my right hand this morning, that our team needs to be individuals that need to make decisions on their own if we're not around. And we're all creative in one way or another. We just have to find it in us and bring it out and just do it and exemplify and stuff. So did he have like a mantra, or did he give advice on if you wanted to be a really good leader, what that looks like?
Me and you, we're badasses. Just looking, and when you think it's something different, or if you feel different and unique and that you don't fit in, then you're onto something, because you don't need to fit in. You're already unique, and you can move forward with that uniqueness. Not everyone has what you have, and it's a unique, how you call it, special
Skill?
No, I lost the word.
But that goes to getting uncomfortable. No, I'm sorry, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. Because when we stay in that comfort zone, that's where we just go flat, right? Everything's good, everything works well. There's no need to change, there's no need to challenge or anything like that. But when you start to get uncomfortable and you leap into that zone of being somewhat maybe even afraid or fearful of what the outcome is when you become challenged and you start learning new things, right? And that's what we all have to do. I mean, your mom is a great example. Me quitting my job and not having a plan, right? That was going to the uncomfortable zone.
Yeah.
And taking those risks, and actually I was able to reap the rewards of it and stuff. So
exactly. And then once you get up there like he did, he always opened for ideas all the way from the janitor.
yeah,
That's there now.
Yeah.
You know, you have an idea, bring it to me. And that's what I like too. And that's why I always talk about Aisha and Ida, because with Botanica that just made it to Target. I can go to Target now.
Get their products there.
And it's amazing because Ida asked Aisha, you know, let's can we collaborate? Aisha said no. I'm gonna help you do your own brand. That's what we need.
Yes.
We need to lift each other up. I'm up here. Come on, Mama. You're right here next to me, and that's where you go further in life.
They're making magic happen. Why?
Yes.
Because they are
Lifting each other and
servant leaders.
yes.
And it's not about
servant
me.
leaders.
It's not about me. It's about us, right?
It's about us.
So I think that's really important. And when we talk about leadership and people want to say that they're leaders, you really have to look at how you're serving others.
Yes.
And if you're not doing it to your fullest because it's all about serving yourself, then you can forget it. It's not going to happen.
No.
What you're looking for, because you know the universe does speak to you.
Yes, it does. And then when you're looking for, like, for example, Ponce product, we're their brand. You know, when you come, we're unique. We're, you know, homemade, and we have Mama's kitchen, and we stay true to who we are. That's why we become so far.
Absolutely.
You know, 22 years. Oh Lord, we got
22 years. It's gonna be 13 for me. Y por ahí seguimos. Well, we are almost at the end of our show this week. And as usual, we try to make it short and sweet and talk about nothing and a little bit about everything. So we want to wish you a marvelous week, and we will be seeing you next week.
Yay!
Cheers!
Cheers.
Salud, café, búsquelo. Bye!
Bye.